Good morning, everyone. Our report for today is all about writing mechanics and written language. Stating your thoughts in written form is not the easiest thing to do. Sometimes it's frustrating because you want to explain your point but it just couldn't. But of course, there are ways for us in order to improve our writing skills, like in writing, spelling, the use of punctuation, abbreviation, and capitalization as well. But before anything else, I would like to explain what is writing mechanics and written language. Writing mechanics are established rules that should be followed when writing sentences. Grammar is also included because it is our standard in writing. Written language is a representation of language by means of writing system. Written language is an invention in that children must be taught. They pick up in sign or oral. In spelling, no one really wants to see a bad spelling. Nowadays, there are text programs that helps us to check spelling errors. So, how do we improve our spelling skills? So, there are 5 that I would want to suggest in order for us to improve our spelling skills. Number 1 is read text or read more books. The more books we read, the more information we gather. In reading, we come to familiarize with text, and in that, those texts will be intact in our mind. The next one is memorize sight word. Sight words are common words that can always be sounded out. Another one is the use of mnemonics. Mnemonics are the tricks that helps us to memorize words. And another one is test yourself. And the last is be aware of spelling exceptions.
Now let us proceed with the use of punctuation. Punctuation is very important when we write an essay or anything. Sometimes there's a joke that can easily convey the importance of proper punctuation. Like for example, let's eat Fred and let's eat Fred is a simple comma but it changes the meaning significantly. One is dinner invitation while the other one is cannibalism. Punctuation may be a small part of the sentence as a whole, but it definitely has a big impact. Next is the capitalization. Improper capitalization may not affect the meaning behind the words that you use, but it does keep help your sentences organized. Capitalization signals to a reader the important details in a sentence. Like for example, I received a gift from Uncle John, but not from my other uncle. People place ideas that are capitalized give them a hint as to the significance of that word. Capitalization also helps your sentences and paragraphs flow better, as it signals the beginning of each sentence that you use. And lastly, the abbreviation. In writing, do not use abbreviation that is not familiar to your readers, unless it is for quizzes and examinations that you want to hide the meaning intentionally. Familiarize your reader first.
The next is describing busy pictures. Everyone is busy with their works going to school, or doing something for the survival of their lives. A busy person defines a person who is busy in her life and barely has time for their personal and social life. This kind of lifestyle is really complicated and hard to live. A busy person is a behavior in which a person has a little time for friends, is focused on their career, and also has a lifestyle of their being a single or can barely provide time for family. And for the example is flower shop, bakery, movie theater, pet shop, swimming pool, park, supermarket, bookstore, museum, library, apartment building, mailbox, crosswalks, street, and lastly is the grocery.
As we listen to the discussion on the writing mechanics and written language, as we write, we should consider these things, the standard writing conventions, which is the spelling, the punctuation, the capitalization, and the sentence structure skills. Also, we should include the sentence that is accurate and correct. The creative daily diary. So when we say creative, it means that you are generating new ideas or possibilities that your work will improve or enhance. And daily diary is making of a daily activities. To sum up, creative daily diary is a recording journal of activities written regularly using a pen and a book. How to make a diary. So, get some colored paper, bond paper, or any paper that is useful in making a diary book. And you should add some decorations that suits. Do not apply a lot of decorations to not create the unpleasant view of the diary. So, on the left side of your paper or the book, you should write the date, the day, and the time. And for the first paragraph, begin the entry by describing the day or momentary feelings. And for the body, discuss an event, feelings, or future plans. And for the last paragraph, is conclude with a final remark, future course of the action. So this is an example. This is an example of a diary entry format. You can also include your creative ideas in making your own diary. So an example for this is, always remember that in writing a diary, include the authenticity of your sentences and the correct usage of punctuations, capitalization, and spelling and grammar.
Essay writing in burger format. So writing an essay is like a hamburger. Think about it for a moment. There is a bun on the top and a bun on the bottom, and in the middle you'll find a hamburger itself, or what we call the meat. The top bun contains your introduction and topic statement. This paragraph begins with a hook or a factual statement intended to grab the reader's attention. It is followed by a thesis statement, an assertion that you intend to prove in the body of the essay that follows. The meat in the middle, called the body of the essay, is where you offer evidence in support of your topic or thesis. It should be 3 to 5 paragraphs in length, with each offering a main idea that is backed up by 2 to 3 statements of support. The bottom band is the conclusion that sums up the arguments you've made in the body of the essay. Like the two pieces of a hamburger bun, the introduction and conclusion should be similar in tone, brief enough to convey your topic but substantial enough to frame the issue that you articulate, the meat or body of the essay. Here are the steps on creating an essay. First is choosing a topic before you begin writing. You need to choose a topic for your essay, ideally one that you're already interested in. Your topic should be broad or common enough that most people know at least something about what you're discussing. Once you've chosen a topic, you must narrow it down into a single thesis or central idea. It should be specific enough and relevant facts, and it has supporting statements. Second is drafting the outline. Once you've selected your topic or thesis, it's time to create a roadmap for your essay that will guide you from the introduction to conclusion. This map, called an outline, serves as a diagram for writing each paragraph of the essay. We have 5 ways of diagramming of the essay. First is introductory paragraph. Second is body paragraph 1. Third is body paragraph 2. Fourth is body paragraph 3. And the fifth is the concluding paragraph. So let us now proceed to number 3. Creating the introduction. Once you've written and refined your outline, it's time to write the essay. Begin with the introductory paragraph. This is the part to hook the reader's interest in the very first sentence, which can be an interesting fact, a quotation, or a rhetorical question. This not only gives the essay structure, but it also signals the readers what is to come. Number 4 is writing the body of the essay. Once you've written the introduction, it's time to develop the meat of your thesis in 3 to 4 paragraphs. It should contain a single main idea following the outline you prepared earlier. Use 2 or 3 sentences to support the main idea, citing specific example. Number 5. Concluding the essay. The summary paragraph summarizes your essay and is often a reverse of the introductory paragraph. Begin the summary paragraph by quickly restating the principal ideas of your body paragraph. Your final statement can be a future prediction based on what you have shown in the essay. So when you write an essay, always think about a hamburger, wherein there is a bun on the top which represents the introduction and a meat on the middle which represents the body of your essay, and the bottom bun which represents your conclusion or the concluding paragraph. And always remember the 5 steps in making the essay. First is choosing a topic. Second is drafting the outline. Third is creating the introduction. Fourth is writing the body. And 5 is concluding the essay. These 5 will help you in order to make your essay successful. And writing an essay in burger format is one of the techniques that you can use in teaching your student on how to write an essay.
Slogan making. When we say slogan making, it is when you write your slogan. Keep in mind length, key benefits, and how your slogan will make people feel good about it. Look at word count, the overall message, the rhythm, and even its humor. A slogan is a simple and memorable catchphrase arranged in a specific way. A perfect slogan is able to express a complicated notion and add an emotional impact to it by using a few words. There are some steps in making your slogan making. The first one is to keep it simple. Most people who do effective work professionally live by overarching rule, which is the keep it simple. Clutter and wordiness cause confusion. Many of the best slogans have few words. The second one is to use small words. The average American reads at 7 to 8 grade level, but you'll notice that the most famous slogans use much simpler words than that. The third one is to make it roll off the tongue. If it's easy to say, it's probably easy to remember. If you can say it easily, you can also remember it easily. And the last one is to test your slogans. Once you're done writing, pick your favorite three and put together an informal poll. Don't explain or provide any other context. Remember that you won't be there to explain the slogan to every person who reads it, so it has to work without you providing any context. Always remember that you should make your slogan as simple and catchy, but be sure to easily understand by the reader and can easily remember by the reader. What makes a good slogan? While there is no concrete criteria for making a catchy slogan, there are key traits that you should consider in making your slogan making. The first one is the brevity. Human attention spans are short, and making your slogan brief gives your audience a greater probability at retaining the information. The second one is the clarity. Think about what you want the audience to feel about your slogan. The second one is the clarity. Think about you want the audience to feel about your slogan and how they are going to communicate in an uncomplicated way. Number 3 is the powerful. Make sure that the language makes your audience want to take action. And then the last one is the memorable. A memorable slogan uses a blend of powerful words and concise message to create impressions in your demographic.
Making storybook. When we say storybook, these are books containing of story or collection of stories intended for children. Storybooks help every child to get to know sounds, words, and language, and develop early literacy skills. So, encouraging the child or the learners to make their own storybook has many benefits, both educationally and emotionally. Some of these benefits include better self-esteem. Child absolutely love it when you sit together and read their stories, as well as building a bond between parent and a child. Sharing stories validates the child as an author and makes them feel proud of their achievements. Second, we have the development of writing skills. Writing a book story requires a lot of skill, including holding the pencil correctly, forming the letters, the spacing word, and writing in lines from left to right. Third, we have building resilience. Writing stories allow the children to find a voice to express their thoughts, feelings, fears, and experiences. It builds confidence and provide an emotional outlet for many children. Fourth, we have the increased concentration span. When a child is engaged in a task that they enjoy, it leads higher levels of motivation and increased concentration span. This develop their thinking and creative skill while they create their masterpiece. Lastly, we have the development of reading skills. In writing their own books, children drew upon the usual book convention, such as having a front cover, text and illustration placement, numbering pages, writing chapter headings. When older children read their stories aloud, it encourages them to proofread their work and edit where necessary. So we have the steps in creating or making book story. First step is to know the characteristic of a good storybook. So what are the characteristic of a good storybook? You must only have one idea per page. It must be predictable. It means it is easy to define by the readers. It can be about places, animals, or even your own story. You should write a story that's familiar with you. So next we have the text. The text must be big for shared reading. The picture relates to the text you are writing, then picture must be followed by text. In other words, make it simple and understandable. The second step must conceptualize your story. So introduce your main or chosen character in writing a storybook. So introduce the activity taking place. Build the story so the reader will see what will happen next. Come to the climax of the story. Then lastly, finish your story or masterpiece. So we have the third step, your overall layout. So we have the cover page. It contains the title of your storybook. The cover picture must be eye-catching to get the attention or interest of the readers. Next, we have the title page. The title page is a smaller version of your cover page. Lastly, we have the content or the body. So your storybook are made up of pages. Each pages have sentences. These sentences will tell the story. The pages have pictures to help you to tell or define your story. Children's growth and development are greatly aided by stories. They can make friends with the books they read and the characters they meet. It, it is also good for children to understand that books are very valuable source of information and that solid reading abilities are essential for the future success. Reading also helps children with their confidence levels, coping with feelings and language acquisition and learning.